The fuck?
I need an adult. Ew. No, yes.
What?
Oh, are we starting?
Now.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Dumb Bitches.
I'm Lucy.
And I'm Sienna.
And we're the dumb bitches.
We are doing part 3 of our vacation fiasco stuff.
Extravaganza.
That's a much better word than stuff. We're doing our Universal days today.
I don't know if you can tell what our theme was today.
Well, you probably can't looking at me. I actually do have on my Burning Blade Tavern sweater, which
we'll get to later.
And I have my Pygmy Puff.
What's his name?
I don't even know if it's a him. It should be because I like boy cats better than girl cats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't named him yet. I forgot.
We'll come up with one. Tell us your inspiration. Give us names.
Yeah. All right. And have you named yours?
No.
So
I need help too.
Okay. All right. But yours is a girl.
Yes.
And that's just what it is.
We verified that anthropomorphically.
Yes.
Because the boys are solid white and she's got speckles.
Yeah. Anyways, we're doing our Universal day today. We did 3 park days.
Yes.
So originally we planned on doing 1 epic day
and
then 2 park hopper days for Islands of Adventure and just Universal.
Yeah.
And we changed that because
after the very first day.
So I want to start with the other 2 parks first because I think Epic Universe is a little bit more controversial and a little bit more meaty.
Yeah.
So listen, I've been to Universal before.
And I have not.
And neither had Kellen.
No.
And my experience at Universal was fine. I got death marched everywhere.
As usual.
Shocker. I rode all the rides. I went through all the stores. I didn't really remember too terribly much about
the parks.
I think just because they were
fine.
Like they were cool, don't get me wrong. But I think other than Harry Potter Land, like there just wasn't anything that was like standing out to me, if that makes sense. So I couldn't fully remember what to expect. I just knew that it wasn't quite as like cool as
you're a
Disney.
Bitch for theming.
I am a bitch for theming.
And Disney's more on the theming side of things.
Yeah, it is. I like the ambiance side of things. Because here's my thing, is if I wanted to go to just like an amusement park with good roller coasters and stuff, I can go to Six Flags.
Yes.
There's a lot closer
roller coaster
cheaper amusement parks that I can go to for simply just roller coasters. Yeah. And I know that there's a little bit of theming on the rides. They have definitely a couple rides. Like I remember King Kong, that ride, whatever it's called. Like there was some stuff, for sure. But I also remembered that there was a lot of screens. And I don't love a screen ride.
Screens make me nauseous.
I know they do. They didn't used to make me nauseous, but now they do.
Yeah.
But even before, screens made me feel super sick. I guess I just kind of felt like it was a cheap,
like a cop out.
I remember my first time going to Universal and thinking Disney does it better.
Yeah.
And that I felt like Universal was trying to do the immersion and stuff that Disney was doing. It just wasn't done as well.
Yeah.
And so I didn't enjoy it as much.
Like the Wish version.
Yeah. I remember I rode the Simpsons ride and I was just kind of like, this is not.
I heard that one we didn't actually ride it, so I haven't experienced it, but I heard it described as just you sit on a chair in a room in front of a screen.
Pretty much. I mean, it's one of those like boardy things where
Okay.
you're jiggling and jambling all over the place and they spit water at you and
Okay.
all of the things. I do remember actually, because I went, 6 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not get motion sick for hardly anything at that point in my life.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what 6 years can do.
Yay.
That ride, I remember feeling slightly sick. I had to close my eyes for a little bit because it started to get too much.
Isn't that what Star Tours is like?
I was fine on Star Tours.
Interesting.
I've always been fine on Star Tours.
Star Tours
I know,
wrecks
it
me.
wrecked y'all shit.
wrecks me.
Yeah. But so if I'm fine on Star Tours,
then there's no way.
and no, absolutely not. That's why I was like, no, we're not even going to try the Simpsons ride. But I remember specifically getting off of that ride and going, Disney does it better.
Yeah.
The other difference that I noticed the first time that I went to Universal, the other difference from that park versus Disney, which after I experienced this, I was like, there's no way that that's real life because that doesn't make any sense why this would be a difference between the two parks, is that whenever I was at Universal, because the last time that I did my Universal trip, I also did a Disney and then Universal thing. So I had the direct comparison to make. And I remember my first time at Universal going, why is everybody standing so fucking close to me?
No, you're right.
I know, because freaking Mario Kart, the first ride that we rode, I was ready to turn around and punch that guy.
Yeah.
This guy was literally, I'm not kidding you, like front to back with me at some point.
He was like bumping you with his beer gut.
No, seriously. But not only that, like he was rubbing my back with his belly. He touched my butt multiple times, not on purpose. I could tell it wasn't an intentional ass grab. It was just that he was, he would move his hand and then bump my ass. And I was just like, and then he would like breathe on me. Okay. And his breath smelled so bad. And I was like borderline laughing. At first I was laughing because I was going, this has to just be a thing where for some reason, people at Universal they just stand so much closer to each other.
Yeah. Don't
touch me. I don't know you. By the time that we got on that ride.
At what point was it that when you made eye contact with me?
Oh, I thought that you were asking at what point did that start? I was like, at the very beginning of the line. It was pretty early on into the queue.
Yeah.
I think I
just looked over and your eyes were just like,
I was so
you
mad.
were like filled with rage.
I was filled with rage.
And I was like, well, come over here. And you're like, no.
Oh, we were on the stairs at that point.
Yeah.
And so I could see the entrance. And because I didn't want to do that to you, and since we were basically there, I was just like,
it's fine.
I'm just going to push through this. But I also was irritated at that point because, look, I love Kellen. I do. But I had to be the front seat sitter in all of the Ubers. I had to ride with all of the strangers. I don't know why I made it sound like Kellen was making me do that. He wasn't. Well, he asked me to take the front seat in an Uber because he didn't like it. And I was like, that's fine. But then it was just because obviously you guys were going to ride together. And I wasn't going to ask you guys to not ride together. But I was like, I'm constantly, you guys were standing next to each other in line. And so I was always behind you. And since we were a group of 3, everybody was cutting me off after you guys would pass. And I was just like, I swear to God, there's too many people.
I did always try to look back and make sure we waited for you.
I know. Yeah. There was never a moment in time where I was going, hello, did you guys forget about me? I never felt like you guys forgot about me. I was just, because we were a group of 3, it was always me. And so at that point into the vacation, I was so tired.
And over it.
Of being around strangers.
Yes.
And having strangers. Look,
in your space.
Can we just collectively agree as a community to stop standing so close to each other? Literally, I'm not kidding you. At the beginning of that ride, because I wasn't full on grumpy yet, the only thing that was going through my brain was, don't stand so close to me. And then I just got angry and I was like, anyways, that was such a tangent. But that is a difference that I have noticed between Disney and Universal is for some reason at Disney, it feels like people keep their distance a little bit more.
And at Disney, they're having to yell at people to get closer.
Yes.
Which is something that I don't remember them doing before. But like every ride line now, they're like, everybody get close. Scooch in.
Yep.
Everybody needs to move their body.
Yes. And at Universal, they just apparently don't need to do that because everybody just wants to
does it anyway.
Rub their bellies on you. Ugh. Yeah. Anyways, so back to our actual park experience.
Yeah.
You had no desire to really experience much else of the park other than Harry Potter Land.
I mean, I was pretty much there for Harry Potter.
Which I want to make a quick little disclaimer too.
Yeah.
And I know that Harry Potter is controversial. I don't want to get into the controversy of Harry Potter. Oh my gosh. I want to make it very clear that we support trans rights.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't agree with any of that rhetoric from JK.
No.
It's just Harry Potter is a very nostalgic part of my childhood.
Yeah.
You know, I read all of the books every summer.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
And
I don't have that connection to Harry Potter that you did. But like I still enjoy the franchise. And also like this is so cute. Look at how cute this is. I don't even know what a fucking pygmy puff is. But I became obsessed with this thing. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Yeah. You're pretty much you just wanted to go to the Harry Potter lands.
Yes.
At the parks. So
I wasn't, and I'm not a big roller coaster person because I do get motion sick.
Yeah.
Or if I don't get nauseous, I'll get headaches. Like it feels like my brain is just rattling around in my skull. So I only have so many rides in me to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that was more of a focus at Universal. So I was just like, you know, if we don't get to do the other stuff, I don't really care.
Yeah. And for me, I had already been. And it wasn't, whereas at Disney, I'm like, no, I want to share. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today.
I wanna.
Zigga zigga ah. I wanted to share the Disney experiences with you.
Yes.
Whereas at Universal, to me, a ride is a ride is a ride.
Yeah.
As far as a roller coaster goes. Once you've done a loop-de-loop roller coaster, you've done all of the loop-de-loop roller coasters. And some are better than others, for sure. But again, I can go to Six Flags and ride a loop-de-loop roller coaster.
Yes.
And I can do it for a lot cheaper, too. So that's why at Disney, because the rides are more of like...
Kelly called them
thematic.
They're show rides.
They're show rides, yes. Whereas at Universal, they're roller coasters.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have some theming.
Yeah. So that's why when it came to Universal, when you were like, all I really want to do is go to the Harry Potter worlds, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Kellen was pretty theme parked out by that point.
Absolutely.
His feet were still hurting him and he was tired. So he was not wanting to hoof it all over the place trying to get on stuff.
Yeah. So we did the Harry Potter lands. That's what we did. We did walk through the rest of the park, and you and I went to the Christmas shop up front.
Yes, we did.
And it was pretty mid.
Yeah.
So Harry Potter lands are cool. The dragon's cool. You guys did spells.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Fun.
I went and pretended like I was gonna walk around while you guys did your spells.
Yeah.
Because you guys got the interactive wands.
Yes.
And I did not.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I was gonna get pretty bored of that pretty quick. And I did.
Yeah.
And where did I even go?
I don't know. You went and found your pygmy puff at one point.
Nope, that was at Epic.
At Universal, I was with you. We stood in line forever.
Oh my gosh, the Hagrid's motorcycle.
Yeah.
I forgot that was at that park.
So, okay, to start with because we did most of the Harry Potter rides, but we made the mistake of, we thought we were getting on Flight of the Hippogriff, and we
were walking by, and I just saw the sign. There was the Hippogriff right there, and then I saw an entrance to a queue, and it said 15 minutes, and my dumb, stupid ass went, do you guys just want to hop in line?
Yeah. We were like, sure, because we thought we were getting on Hippogriff. In reality, we were getting on Forbidden Journey.
Whoops.
Which is the most nauseating of those rides.
Yeah, I did a Google search afterwards because I think probably it was like 15 seconds. Well, first of all, we got on those carts and I was like, this is the same cart that they used for Monsters Unchained.
Yes.
Which I knew jiggled you around. And I was going, I thought Hippogriff was supposed to be like a pretty chill ride. I thought it was supposed to be like a kid's ride.
Like a kiddie coaster.
And then we got in front of that screen and almost immediately I was nauseous.
Yeah. No, that screen was bad.
And then once we left the screen, I was able to re-ground myself.
Which I did too. So like, there would be moments where you were kind of paused on the screen and for a few seconds. And so when that would happen, I would look away and then we would get back to the practical effects. And that was able to like...
But I did not enjoy that. And Kellen...
was done after that.
He was done. I think he kept his eyes just closed. And so he didn't get to experience the practical grounding.
No.
We got off that ride and he went,
nope. Because he's like, I'm already nauseous and... there's not, unless I can get fully unnauseous, there's not going to be anything that I can do.
Well, and what was funny was that I thought that he had said dope when we got off, and I was ready to start ripping into that ride and being like, that sucks.
So you're like, what?
Yeah, and so he goes, what I thought he said was dope, and so I was going, yeah, that was a cool ride. Like, it was cool. Like, oh. And then he was like, no, that made me nauseous. And I was like, oh, thank God.
I said,
because I wasn't trying to like harsh his vibe when we got off. I was like, if he thought that was like a cool ride, I'm not going to sit here and be like,
I'm not going to ruin it for you.
Yeah, but I hated that ride.
Yeah, no.
And then I did the Google search for like, what's the most.
And you were like, oh no.
Oopsies. So he was tapped. He didn't get on a single ride for the rest of the day.
No. He went and because we had originally and I got a 2nd gen one and he got a 1st gen interactive.
Yes.
And he decided that he wanted a 2nd gen so he could have the app.
Yep.
And so he was like, you guys go on the other rides because we still wanted to.
Yep.
And he's going to go get himself a different wand.
Yeah. So then we got on Hippogriff, which I knew was a kid's ride, but like...
It was fun.
It was cute.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And we waited literally 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I didn't care. And then we went on Hagrid's magical motorbike adventuring through the woods, which that one was one that I didn't get to ride the last time that I had gone. And so I was like, I'm riding this ride. And I was like, I don't care if you ride it with me.
Yeah.
I'm getting in this line.
Yeah.
You can go do something else.
Well, and when we got in line, it was posted as 80 minutes.
80 minutes. So I was like, I can do 80 minutes. That's fine. And then there were periods of time where you and I were sitting in the line.
We were literally
sitting
on the floor
for close to 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah. And there were multiple periods of that.
Yes. And then an hour passed and I was like, well, supposedly we're supposed to be getting on this ride in about probably 20 minutes.
And we've hardly moved.
And the girls behind us, she said, what? We're supposed to be on the ride in 20 minutes? And I was like, if we're going by posted time,
yeah,
that's even generous. And she kind of like looked at me and I didn't fully understand what that look was until later on I found out that they had been on the ride. And then I was like, oh, she was saying that because she was going,
there's so much queue left.
Yeah. And then at one point we were standing in that little like hallway.
It's like a tunnel.
Yeah. And the girls in front of us. And it had been, I think, an hour and 45 minutes at this point.
So we're over it.
Yeah. Because I don't like standing in line for longer. If I know that I'm going to be in line.
I can set my expectations.
But now we're 15 minutes past. And I'm like, I kept doing the thing where I would Google what the queue looks like. I would Google a YouTube video of a queue walkthrough. And so I knew
Yeah.
that we still had a lot of fucking queue left.
Yeah.
And I was going, we're already 15 minutes past the posted time.
Mm-hmm.
And I already know that we have at least another 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that we're going to be in this queue for 40 minutes longer than the posted time?
And we're stuck in this tunnel because we hit another one of those 10-minute lulls. So we're standing there and it's so closed in and like all the
Echoey.
sound is bouncing off of everything. And those girls were so loud.
And look, I'm a loud person and I hate being told that I'm too loud. But also part of being a loud person is that I have learned, for the most part, I'm not perfect, when
to reel it in.
To volume control.
Yeah.
Read the room. If I'm at a bar and people are being rowdy, then don't tell me to be quiet.
Right.
I'm allowed to be loud.
Yes.
But if I'm
in a tunnel,
crammed
in with other people,
use your inside fucking voices. And they were cackling.
And
doing, okay, look, I don't want to sound like a hater because there's been moments where I've been excited and gone, with my girlfriends, okay? Super fucking annoying, I know, but live your life because I'm never going to shit on somebody being happy.
No, but don't do it in a tunnel.
Do it quieter in a tunnel. We're in a tunnel and these girls, I'm not kidding, they are jumping up and down at points and going, oh my gosh. And I was just like, if y'all don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna be the hater.
I couldn't handle it.
I'm like, I'm so glad that you girls are like enjoying your time and finding a way to like pass this time in this queue. But please, for the love of God, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Be considerate of the people around you.
Yes.
I'm
so mad at myself because I had my backpack, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had my loops.
Well.
I just remembered that.
Well.
And I didn't put them in.
That's what you get for being a dumb bitch.
I know. I was so stressed. I didn't even think about it.
Because
I was so overstimulated.
And that's my thing too, is like sound will rarely overstimulate me. Unless it's I'll get overstimulated by sound when there's like multiple people talking to me specifically at once.
Yes, because you can't follow.
Yes, that will overstimulate me very, very quickly. Or if somebody's talking loudly close to me.
Yes.
But like loud music, it's really just close. Like when you're shouting at me in a room,
mm-hmm.
that's fine. But when you're shouting at me in the car,
mm-hmm.
I can't do that. And so at that period, like I was overstimulated.
Yeah.
I'm already pissed because I've been waiting for 2 hours. I already know that, you know, I'm spending 2 hours in this park when I know that we have 8 hours total.
Yes.
In the day. And we've already spent, I think we had spent like 3 hours of it already.
Yes. We didn't have that much time left.
And we hadn't even been to the other park yet.
No.
And so now I'm sitting here going, if this fucking ride isn't worth it. But then those angel girls behind me.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I'm not even hiding it anymore. I'm just like grumpopotamus in this queue. And I think I turned to you and I went, if this ride isn't worth it.
That's exactly what you said.
And the girls behind us went, have you done it before? And I was like, no. And she was like, you're going to have a really good time. Like, I promise.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
She goes, I wait in this queue for 2 hours every single time I come to this park and I still ride it.
Every time.
And I was like, okay, fine.
Thank you.
I was like, I really needed that because I am 30 minutes away from the end of this queue and I'm ready to just throw it all away.
Yeah. Because I had just turned to you and been like, I don't know how much more of this I can take. And you were like, you don't have to wait with me. And I'm like, I don't mean the line. I mean these girls.
Well, and there was nothing. I was talking to one of my friends. I was snapping one of them. And I was like, I'm about to lose my shit. And he was like, just fight him. And I was like, this actually is not the time to like be funny and egg me on because I might do it. I might swing. Not actually, but I might verbally swing.
Yes. What were you trying to say to me that one time? And they kept getting louder every time you spoke.
Oh my gosh. It was like,
you were asking me something.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
But you like couldn't even get it out.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm taking a second because I'm about to just start screaming.
Well, and because my thing too is that like, again, I know I've said this before, but I feel like people don't fully understand how loud my voice is.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'd say probably 95% of the time, my voice is a lot quieter than I'm
You're not at capacity.
I'm actively restraining.
Yeah.
If I just were to like
let go,
and I've done it a couple times, and it's one of those things. This is a good example. You know, at Texas Roadhouse for birthdays, they do the whole yelling thing.
Yeah.
Okay. At my old restaurant, which was huge, everybody else would gather around a crowd of people to help them, because then that gets everybody else's attention when you've got a crowd of people like cheering with you, right? Okay. I never had to worry about that, because with my voice alone, I could get the entire restaurant to be quiet without trying.
Yeah.
And I would do a shtick where I was like, if you don't swing your lasso and yell yeehaw, then I'm going to start over and I'm going to do it louder than I did the first time. And there was only one person who tested me, because most of the time people would be like,
okay.
Oh, wait. Okay. There was one person who tested me and didn't believe me. And then at the end, the dad was like, I thought there was no way that you were going to be able to be louder than you were the first time, but you proved me wrong. And I've gotten a lot of comments of like, I was not expecting that voice to come out of you, which is, I'm not a petite girl. So it's not like people look at me and expect me to have
a tiny voice.
So, but people are still shocked by
how loud you can be.
Yeah. And so there's been a couple times where when somebody won't let me speak, where I get a little, angry. And I'm like, fine, if you won't let me speak,
I'm going to be the only one speaking.
Yes. Then you're not going to have an option. Like I can drown people out very, very easily.
Yeah.
And I did not want
to make a scene
and completely make an ass out of myself. But I was like actively having to go, don't do that. And that's why I was like, I need a second, because I'm about to start, like, this entire tunnel is about to hear me. And that's embarrassing. We don't need to.
We don't want that.
We don't need to be doing that. I was ready to freaking throat punch someone. Shut up. Yeah, sorry. I'm just going on tangent after tangent after tangent today. But those girls were pissing me off. The ride was great.
The ride was good.
It was really fun.
I enjoyed 90% of it. Going backwards did make me a little nauseous.
Well, that's a you problem.
Yes, it is.
That was fun.
But if I didn't, I would have said it was great.
No, it was really fun. And there was the little, what's it called? I want to say a snapdragon. The vines.
Oh, Devil's Snare.
Devil's Snare.
I was like, I don't know what
that
you're
actually,
referencing.
Snapdragon was actually not like crazy
far off.
Yeah. But yeah, that part was fun. And I knew I'm not going to spoil it, but I knew what was coming. And it still was like.
I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, because we had it spoiled by the man in line behind us at a different ride. I had it spoiled because I was listening, because I'm nosy and I listen to people's conversations.
I got bits and pieces, but I had a really hard time at the theme parks just hearing what people were saying in general, just because there's so many sounds going on that I can't, my auditory processing, I can't filter it. So I got like little chunks.
I can lock in on a certain thing.
Yeah.
If I'm interested. And like he was on a phone call, so of course I wanted to know what he was talking about. Yeah, I'm very nosy. So I was at least glad. I would never wait for that ride for 2 hours again.
No.
I think
I'd do an hour.
I would do an hour for that ride for sure. But then at that point in time, I had decided that I was all done with rides. Absolutely all done with rides, because I didn't want to wait anymore.
No.
We had been waiting in line.
I mean, that was what day? We did 6 days at Disney and
7, 8. That was our
day 8 of
parks.
Day
of lines.
We were done.
Yeah. No, but then, so you guys then decided to go do your wanding, your magicking.
Yeah.
And I did do something. I think I just walked around the Harry Potter park. We park hopped after that ride.
You're right, we did.
Because we were like, we should just go ahead because we had 2 hours left in the day.
And so we're like, if we don't do it now, we're going to miss it.
We're not going to. So we rode the train.
Yeah.
And the lady who shared the cart with us, I don't know if you guys noticed it, reeked of weed.
I didn't notice.
You and your nose. I'm jealous. Because, I was sitting there and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't like the smell of weed.
I don't love it.
It's not like offensive to me, but if I'm like in an enclosed space with somebody who just smells like weed, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Stupid. Anyways, I sound like such a bitch right now. But I was tired at that point.
Yeah.
But then you guys did your wanding at the other park. What the hell did I do? I think I just walked around. I went through the shops. Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't even remember most of the second park.
I don't really either.
It was Diagon Alley? Okay. Yeah, so we
and the
just
castle.
did wanding.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much, no, not pretty much. That is the entirety of what we did at that park. I walked through the shops while you guys did your spells.
Yes.
And then that's when Kellen was like, I think I might be done. And I was like, oh, I'm great. Yeah, that's cool. I think it was like 30 minutes before the park closed or something like that. Maybe an hour. And then you were like, well, I wanted to go through the shops, but I had already been through them. So I was like, well, I can tell you what the actual good ones are.
Yes.
So we went through the good ones.
Yeah.
And truthfully,
I don't even think we got anything.
We didn't. I think we spent all of like 10 minutes. We went into the one of Fred and George's.
The Wizarding Wheezes.
Yeah. Because that one's like neat or whatever.
It was neat.
Yeah, like there was like theming.
And we went in Borgin and Burke's. That's the dark one.
Yes. I think those were the two that I was like, these ones are the cool shops.
Yeah.
And then we went home.
Because we were tired.
And then we'll talk about our epic day.
Yeah.
Because
Gotta rewind a little bit.
So we went to Epic on actually our day 1.
Yes. And that was a decision that we made because there's wands that you can only get at Epic.
Yes.
And I wanted to be able to
see them
to pick out my wand.
Yes.
So we decided to do that the first day.
And then probably 3 hours into our Epic day, we said, should we see if we can upgrade our second day park hopper ticket to see if we can come back to Epic? So here's the thing. I had heard a lot of hate on Epic Universe. And I don't understand any of it.
No.
Well, I do understand why. I think because Universal
is more roller coasters,
so ride heavy, that having a park, Epic was so themed.
Yes.
Epic was so immersive.
It was next level themed.
I loved it.
Yes.
And so I think that for a lot of people who are going to Universal, you go to Disney and you expect the theme.
Yes.
You expect the ambiance and the music and the characters and the show rides.
Yes.
You go to Universal, you expect the roller coasters.
Yes.
And Epic was not roller coaster heavy.
I felt like it was a good marriage of the two because the coasters that were there were really good and they were coasters.
But there weren't
very many of them.
There was one coaster.
But the other rides, they were still more intense than something you would get on at Disney.
Yes.
Is what I mean by that.
Yes, that's fair. But there were 5?
Yeah, there weren't very many of them.
And so I know that there are a lot of people who are angry about that.
Yes, because I think they have their expectations set of Universal means coasters.
Yes.
And so they felt like it didn't deliver in that area.
Yes.
And I
didn't have my expectations there. I don't disagree with that. I feel like it didn't deliver coasters the way that the other 2 parks do.
Not in the same way, no. But I felt like it still had them.
Yes. But not in the same way.
Yeah.
And so I think that people definitely had the expectation of, I'm going to go to Epic Universe and I'm going to be just riding coasters all day.
Yeah.
And that's not what Epic Universe is.
And I could definitely see those people who are like, You don't need more than one day. If you're just doing the rides,
You don't need
you
more
don't
than
need
one
more
day.
than one day.
But the other thing too is that a lot of people are angry about the wait times, which that one I don't fully understand because it's a brand new park. What do you expect?
Right. It just opened.
Right. But then they're waiting in line for, an hour to ride Donkey Kong, which is a 1 minute ride.
Yeah.
And not overly thrilling.
No.
It's more thematic.
Yes.
And so they're getting off of it and getting pissed off.
Yes.
Because I just waited an hour for a 1 minute semi-thrill.
Yeah.
I didn't wait an hour for the Hulk.
Right.
Or Velocicoaster.
Right.
Which that's not where my expectations were.
No.
And so I think that's a big reason why we had
the experience that we did.
I had the best experience at Epic Universe.
I honestly, and this might be controversial, if I had never been to Disney or I didn't have the emotional attachment, and I know you've said this too.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the emotional attachment that I do to Disney, I would prefer Epic.
Yep, I would rank Epic over Disney. Which is a little wild to say because I am a Disney bitch through and through. And I still love Disney, but I felt like they made Epic Universe like with just so much attention to detail.
It was next level.
It really was.
And I would equate it to like the level of theming that they have in Pandora or like Galaxy's Edge, but it was everywhere.
Yes, because, and this is what you said, is that, Disney already had its foundations that started
everything
so long ago, where they only had certain technologies and stuff, and they've been adding on to it.
But there's only so much you can update.
Exactly. Whereas Epic Universe was a clean slate. They could do everything.
Yes, and they did.
So you guys rode Stardust Racers. I didn't because I was feeling lightheaded and nauseous. And I was like, I don't need to start my day like this.
Yes.
And I had said, I was like, look, if it's really awesome, can you please just get off and like be like, it was cool. Like, please don't make me feel bad or not make me feel bad, but like.
Feel like you missed out.
Don't give me FOMO. And you got off the ride and you went, that was so cool. And I was like, gee, thanks, Lucy. You really listened, didn't you? And Kellen was like, well, she actually did dumb it down. And I was like, oh. And he was like, don't worry. We'll come back and we'll ride it again later.
Yes.
And
well, and when we went back later, you were like, I'm sorry that you're having to ride this again. And I was like, yeah, just rip my arm off. Why don't you?
And I was like, okay, thank goodness. And it was really cool. So I have heard that, have you heard of Dueling Dragons?
I've heard about it.
So apparently this is very similar to what that was.
Okay.
And I guess people were like pissed that Dueling Dragons was not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And so I think that this was their way of kind of bringing it back. I don't know because I never wrote it. But that's, I guess, what a lot of people are comparing it to. So you guys rode that ride. And then we went to Mario Kart.
Yes.
And that was my first ride.
Yes.
And we stood in line for 90 minutes.
I really liked the queue.
The queue was awesome.
It was super cute.
It was really fun. There was stuff to look at. And they did a good job of making it so that the amount of stuff that there was to look at, by the time that I was sick of looking at the room.
Yes. You were moving.
We were entering a new room. I will say the efficiency for getting people on the ride. Like Disney, the way that they do that, they are a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
Epic or Universal, just in general.
They're figuring it out.
Which they should have that figured out by now, considering they have 2 other parks.
Yes.
And the queues, the ride, it was not as good at the other parks either. Yeah. But at least in Epic Universe, they gave you interesting queues to stand in.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Yes. I accept that.
I mean, I'm okay standing in a long line if the line is cool.
Yeah, especially I liked the library.
It was so
because
cute.
They had all of the books with the funny names, and then so you'd turn and you do your freaking switchback, but there would be new books to be like, oh, my favorite one was Super Loser Brothers, written by Bowser.
Yes,
that one made me giggle. They were super cute.
Super cute.
But
we were talking about how fun that meeting had to be to
I know.
For all of them to sit down and come up with those book titles.
Yeah, they were funny. But that was also the line that
the guy was messing with you or touching you.
Yeah, just standing so close to me and breathing on me the entire time for 90 minutes. And then I didn't love the ride.
I thought it was fun. I thought that, there were aspects of it that could have been done better, but I liked the concept.
Here's my beef with it.
Yeah.
I liked that they tried to do, what is it, AR?
Yes.
I liked that they tried to do that, but it was too much.
It was too distracting.
And I absolutely bombed that game because I wasn't paying attention. Because when I'm riding that ride, I want to be looking at things. I don't want to play a game.
Well, and I feel like I hardly got to look at anything because I was paying attention to the game.
Exactly. Whereas I was paying attention to my surroundings.
Yes.
And then I'd be like, oh shit, right, I'm supposed to steer. And I do think that I need to Google this because it might just be in my head. But Gage was saying that his cart never stopped. Ours
stopped
it didn't
a lot.
Stop. It lagged.
It would pause.
Yes. And I'm telling you.
You think it was because
I think it was my fault. Because as soon as I would hit my steering wheel, it would go.
Oh.
And so, but it was because I wasn't paying attention because I was trying to look at
the ride.
And so I felt like for an ADHD bitch, it was because ours is different. So for you were playing the game. And for me, I was going, ooh, shiny.
Mm-hmm. But I am a little disappointed that I didn't really get to look at the ride because I was so focused on the game.
I mean, yeah. I think that doing the AR could be cool, but maybe
tone
make
it down
the
a
game
bit.
An option.
Or have the AR interact more with the environment.
Yes.
Because the AR was exclusively throwing shells at other drivers, but it didn't really interact with the ride itself at all.
But I also was confused because while we were driving, it was the course is down here or whatever. But then all of a sudden there'd be somebody driving a car all the way up here that I guess I needed to shoot.
Yeah.
And I was kind of going, why are you on the wall?
Right.
I think that's the part that was kind of throwing me off is I didn't feel like I was driving a course with other drivers. I felt like I was driving a course with an overlay of drivers.
Yes.
Just everywhere in my field of vision.
I really liked the concept. I think it's a really cool idea. I just think that the technology needs to...
I would be okay if I didn't ride that ride again.
Yeah. I would do it if the line wasn't super long.
I don't even... nah.
Yeah.
That's a maybe for me. I was pretty disappointed when we got off that ride, and I was going.
Now, what I will say is, I could see an application of Stardust Racers where they rethemed it to Mario Kart.
Yeah,
and made it like Rainbow Road because there were sections where you hit speed boosts and it would it was crazy.
Yeah,
or you felt like you were about to fly off the track,
or the part where you're twisting around with the other cart. That's totally a Rainbow Road thing.
They could have done a lot with that.
Yeah. I think that would have been a lot of fun. And then what did we do after Mario Kart? Where did we go?
Where did we go? Did we go to Harry Potter after that?
We might have.
Yeah, we went to the circus.
We did go to the circus after that. And we had read reviews that was this is one of the best shows.
Mm-hmm.
And shows are fun to me, but I don't necessarily think that I go to Disney
for the shows.
I'm glad that we went to some this time, but I wasn't overly excited.
I think the Disney shows are, in general, more kid-focused.
They are.
Whereas these were very much...
Well, and that was my thing, is that I wasn't overly excited to go to.
Yeah.
The Universal shows because I was just it's a show.
It's a show.
I loved it.
It was so cool.
It was so cool. And even just the practice, this is so stupid. There was a point where they had the smoke-filled bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a guy on the stage who was blowing bubbles inside of bubbles.
It was cool.
It was cool. And then they started dropping smoke-filled bubbles.
From the ceiling.
And so...
over the audience.
And so you could pop them. And I was sitting there going, no, this feels magical to me. Even though it's such a simple concept, I was like, no, this feels magical to me.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they had the screens. I don't want to spoil things. They had the screens that looked
Amazing.
sick as hell. They had all of the monsters, or not the
mythical creatures.
magical
creatures.
Whatever. They had the beasts.
And they were really well done.
They were really well done, in my opinion.
Yes.
I'm like, in my opinion. I'll tell you why later. No, it was really cool.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I thought that it was really cool. And then we got some crepes. We got some butterbeer crepes.
Yes.
I got some non-dairy butterbeer.
Yep.
Shout out to them for doing dairy-free butterbeer.
Yes.
I got the frozen one and I really liked it. But sad news for me was that I sometimes forget that I'm allergic to eggs.
And there's definitely eggs
there
in
were
that
definitely
foam.
eggs. And at that point, there was a period of time. This was at another time when I went back and I got the second butterbeer on the second day. And I was walking around by myself and I was like, why do I feel like my throat is kind of tight right now? And then my whole like throat and chest started itching and my stomach started itching. And I was like, oh shit, I'm allergic to eggs, huh? And so I started making my way back to you guys because I was like, I feel like I'm like, this will pass and I'm going to be okay. But I knew that you had Benadryl in your purse. So I was like, I think I might need to find them just in case, because this is quite a reaction I'm having. I was okay. But then we got the butterbeer crepes were fire.
Delicious.
Very sweet, but
I
very
will
good.
say that I am glad that we split
I would not have been able to eat one by myself.
No, it was perfect splitting it with two people.
Yes. And we split our meal and our crepes because we got actual food and then we kind of did like our crepes for dessert.
We got the boeuf bourguignon.
Yeah, that was really good.
Delicious.
That was super good.
It was so good. I was happy with everything that we've eaten there.
Yeah.
And like our waiter talked to us in French. And
it was very cute. And we were sat out on the little patio area.
So we got to enjoy like the ambiance. Of 1920s France and the music. And
yeah, it was cute. And we saw characters running around.
And people were doing spells all over the place.
Yep. And then we saw the band play.
Yes.
We saw the blue dress girls. What are they called?
Beauxbatons.
Yep, that's the one. What other characters did we see in Harry Potter Land?
There was a group of, they were supposed to be students. There was one Beauxbaton and then there was a Durmstrang and a Hogwarts that were wandering around together that I saw. And then there was Cosme, the wand maker.
Oh my gosh, she was so fun.
Yes.
She just came over and had like a 5-minute conversation with us. My favorite part, this was so stupid, but she was like telling us about the shop and she was like, and these are the ones that are like special for me or like special in my shop. And I went, oh, beautiful. And she goes, oh, of course they are. I made them. And I was like, you're so cute.
And then she started shit talking Ollivander.
Yeah. Saying, I don't believe that the wand chooses you.
All of your choices have led you to this point, and it's a cooperative relationship, so I think you should get a say.
It was really cute. Like, she was very in character. I will say that I'm not shitting on Disney. I'm not.
No.
But at Disney, now that I'm an adult, whenever I meet Pooh Bear, I'm very aware that there is somebody in a costume. And as much as I am like, yay, Pooh Bear, I'm also like,
hey.
And
thanks for not making this weird.
Yeah, pretty much. And I have seen so many like TikToks and videos of people who are the Disney characters that just absolutely love what they do, and they don't care that you're an adult being excited to meet them.
Yeah.
But I still, it's in my noggin, okay?
Yeah.
And at Universal, I almost felt stupid when I wasn't playing along.
Yes. And I will say, like, I do think that there was an aspect of a lot of the characters at Universal are characters that we don't know.
Yes.
And so there's not that sort of uncanny valley of like, they don't look quite right.
Yes.
They are who they are.
I also think that because of that, there was an aspect of, I know that this is a fictional character from a movie, but because I've never seen you in a movie, I've never seen your character in a movie, it's easier for my brain to go, you're real.
Yes. Absolutely.
You're just a quirky.
And I also prefer that, like, because at Disney, a lot of the character interactions, you have to wait in line.
Yes.
And these were just people wandering around, talking to small groups of people.
I think the only character that you had to stand in line for was Toothless.
Yes.
And that makes sense because he's an animatronic.
Yes, they can't just wander him around.
Right. And also because so many people want to meet Toothless.
Yes. But other than that, like everybody that we interacted with, and it was a good number. They were just,
lot.
I mean, like Cosme talked to just the two of us for probably a good 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
And I haven't experienced anything like that at Disney.
Nope. Igor stopped you guys in the street to tell you that he liked your cult robes.
Yes.
The waiter
at the mead hall in Burke, he was like, "Why are you guys still in your pajamas? That's kind of weird. It's a little lazy. What are you doing?"
Yeah. And then told us that France and London were made up places.
There is no Queen of England.
Yeah, there is no Queen of England. That was funny. And then in the tavern in Dark Universe.
Yes. It was really cool.
The monster hunter who came in and nothing really happened. And then she was like, basically told everybody to shut up and listen.
Like, normally I get a much better reception when I come in. So I'm going to go out and give you guys another try.
Yeah.
And I expect you to do better.
And she like kicked the door open the second time.
Yeah. And so then everybody cheered. And she was like, thank you. Thank you.
And then she made us all recite a Monster Hunter.
Like oath.
Yep. And then everybody started howling like wolves.
Yes.
Because she told us to.
But it was the whole bar.
Yep. It was just overall.
It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was just vibey. I don't know. Every single land that we went into.
It was super vibey.
It was very vibey. And then the freaking twins in Burke.
They were cracking me up.
So funny. They were just like running around and just being absolute menaces. And then at one point, somebody took a picture of them and they turned around and went, "Why don't you weave a tapestry? It'll last longer." It cracked me up. And then there was another Viking who took a picture with a kid and then like hopped down and went, "Thanks, Mom and Dad." And then just like ran off. And then as we were leaving the mead hall, the twins were going into the mead hall to start causing chaos.
You just know they're causing a mess.
Oh, yeah. It was just great. Everybody talked to us like...
There was one Viking who was talking to a lady and was just like pointing out stuff to her as they were walking.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. It was a vibe for sure.
In Dark Universe, there was the guy with the violin. He like,
oh yeah.
We got off of, I think it was Monsters Unchained. And he was just playing his violin and we kind of looked over at him and he was like, "You want to come talk to me?"
Yeah, and so we stood there and he told us the story of Dracula while he played spooky music on his violin.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was really cool.
It was really fun. I had absolutely no complaints about that entire park
experience.
The rest of the rides I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah. Monsters Unchained was sick.
And it was a 15-minute wait like all day.
We got to ride it. We didn't even have to get off the second time. We got to ride it twice in a row.
Yep. Which kind of killed me, but...
It blew my mind that wait was so short.
And here's my thing. I'm not shitting on Disney. I love Disco Yeti, okay? I love him. I love him. And I understand why they haven't fixed him because they would have to completely rip out that entire ride. But in Monsters Unchained, and it was still a lot smaller of an animatronic, but there's this giant mummy coming out of the ceiling, reaching and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if they can have giant mummy, why can't we have a functioning Disco Yeti?
Yes. The animatronics were the best I have ever seen.
They were really good.
Like, because it's Frankenstein's granddaughter, she like made eye contact with you.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
And there were parts that you couldn't tell what was screen and what was practical.
I will say that Ministry of Magic, we waited 2 hours for that, and it was our last ride of the day.
Yes,
and we were grumpy
Because so it had been delayed. It had been shut all day.
All day.
All day. And we were in Super Mario Land. We had like, I think 2 hours left at the park. And I went, oh shit, it just opened. And we booked it over there.
And people were literally, there was this guy, okay? And he comes just running across. It's like, it literally seemed like out of a movie. In my mind, he ran across the screen, okay? And we're like, oh man, he's booking it. And like 2 seconds later, this kid starts running going, Dad, wait for me. And then when we finally got into the line, that dad did not wait. That kid had to like go under a bunch of the things.
And when he finally got back to him, because the guy was ahead of us in line, when they finally were reunited, the dad was like, you made it.
I was like, oh my gosh. Like, Dad was not waiting.
No.
Kind of brutal. Also, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, and the kid was probably like 10 or 11.
Yes.
You know, it's not like it was a 6-year-old.
Trailing behind him too.
Probably. But yeah, that kid was like, it was clearly a thing of where dad was like, I'm making a run for it. And kid was like, I want to go with dad.
Yeah.
And didn't understand what he was signing up for because dad meant business.
Yes.
It was so funny. But that ride, the queue was really good.
Yes.
But oh my gosh.
It was long.
It was so long. Every time we left a room, there was another room.
When you watched the queue video and just walking normal speed through the queue, that
it
video
was a 10-minute video.
I thought it was 15.
Well, that included parts of like stopping and standing in front of the ride and doing a pan.
Okay.
And then in every room, they would sit there and do a pan.
Okay.
So it wasn't just like a straight walk. But if it was a straight walk, it was
still a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Like,
and so you guys asked me in the big hall.
Yes.
With the big golden statue, which
like
is
your
like
first view of the ministry.
You guys were like, do your thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so after this one, there's going to be another room, and then there will be a hallway, and then there will be another room. And then it kept going. And so I stopped calling it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there going, we're going to be here and then I started watching the tiles change colors on the walls. And I was like, we have to go through 4 color changes. And by the time that we finally got through the first tile change, I was like, ooh.
We're in for the long haul.
And yeah, I did not want to tell. I knew that you would be fine, but I was afraid that if I told Kellen
that he'd bail,
that he would bail. So I was like, it's not that bad.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
By the time we got to the purple tile, I was like, okay, next is some pink tile.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew that we had to go back. No, I didn't register that we had to go back to green tile. So I was like, the pink tile should be the last tile.
Should be the last one. And then we went green and you went, fuck.
I was like, oh crap. But it was worth it.
Yeah. My only complaint about that queue was that the rooms were so echoey that it was hard to understand like the talking portraits.
Yes.
It was hard.
I had no idea what anyone was saying.
I couldn't understand anything they were saying. And like the bits that I caught were interesting. And so it was like frustrating because I wanted to hear what they were saying.
Okay.
So I don't know how they could like fix that. Also, everybody was talking and it's an enclosed room. So between those two things, like
you can't actually hear what's going on.
No.
Yeah. But the ride was worth it. And that ride, I definitely was going. They put the screens and the practical together in a very, very cohesive way.
We walked off and it was just like we didn't have words. For it. We were just still processing. Like I couldn't tell what was real and what was fake.
I thought for sure that I was going to get off that ride and be like, kind of like what I did with the motorbike thing. Yeah. Where I was like, that was a good ride, but I wouldn't wait 2 hours for it again.
And we all immediately were like, that was worth it. I'd do that again.
Yeah. I don't think that I would wait the 3 hours that it normally sits at.
No.
But the 2 hours.
I would do 2 hours.
I would do 2 hours. Yeah, it was a cool ride and it was a really cool park and it was very immersive.
Yes.
And this sweater that I bought from Dark Universe.
So it's from the Monster Hunter Tavern.
Yeah, and it has a bottle cap opener And also, my sweater has a secret pocket that has a koozie in it.
In the kangaroo pouch.
In the kangaroo pouch. And I don't know how you can. It doesn't. You can't even see it. It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, wow. Talk about merch for adults.
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
I felt like really Epic Universe was Universal's answer to millennials and Disney adults.
Yes, I agree.
We see you. We know that you like this stuff. We're going to make you a park that's focused towards you. And I feel like there's a lot more that they could add to it, that they could expand on it. And I feel like they were kind of doing this as like a little test.
Yes.
To see if the audience is there.
Yes. Which, I mean, it's gotten a lot of backlash, but also there was like a group of people behind us who was going, you know, Disney's awesome and I love Disney as a kid, but this park is giving me the same feeling as an adult that Disney gave me as a kid that it can no longer provide.
Yes.
Like Disney is magical. I didn't ever get to experience Disney as a kid.
I would equate it to like the magic of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like, because I absolutely experienced that magic as a kid.
Yeah.
But I've seen behind the scenes now that I'm as an adult.
Exactly.
And it gives me that giddy feeling.
Yeah. When we walked into each one of those portals. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about the portals.
The portals.
The portals were so well done. They were so cute.
Yes.
In Mario Land, when you go through the tunnel, it does the
pipe sound.
The pipe sound. When you go to France, it's a clock that slows down as you walk through the portal, but then on your way back, the clock speeds up.
And I don't even know how they did that.
I don't know how they did that either. The other portals were less cool, but they were still cool.
Yeah, like Dark Universe, there was like lightning bolts that would strike.
Yep. I don't even remember Berg.
I think there's fire.
Probably. It was cute. But those two, the France and the Super Nintendo,
were so cool.
They were so stinging cute. I don't know. And then each one of the lands, they had
like a tower.
A pillar, like a spire of some sort.
So anywhere in the world that you were, you could see the spires. You know where to go.
I almost never had to look at my map.
No. And I love that because at Disney, we were so reliant on the maps.
Yes.
And I think we opened it maybe twice.
I also loved the fact that you didn't have to go through one land to get to another one.
Yes.
Because that was something that at Disney, there was like a period of time where I was like, okay, I guess we'll have to go through Fantasyland. Again. You know?
Whereas because you've got the
center.
Like the Cosmos area.
Yes.
It's kind of like a palate cleanser a little bit.
Yes.
And
where
so,
you're exiting this land.
And I think it helps a lot with the immersion.
I 100% agree. And then at nighttime, each one of the pillars had this huge spotlight that they all cross at the very top.
And converge.
Yeah.
In dead center. Yep. It was so cool.
It was really cool. Now, my little brother
had a different experience.
He hated Epic Universe.
He has already said that he will never go back.
Yes. And I think that he's wrong.
Yes.
He's entitled to his opinion, but I think his opinion is wrong. He said that he did not experience any characters or any of the cast members being interactive. He thought that the rides were not worth the wait. The rides were lame.
The waits were way too long.
Which they were.
He was really pissed about because they initially went raw and just they didn't have any like fast passes or anything, and they got in line from the ministry and they only made it into like that
the first room,
the big room.
And then he was like, I'm not doing this, and so he bought fast passes.
Yes. But then he was mad at how they were operating the fast pass.
Yeah. It was just he just had a very different experience than we do. But I kind of think that that's because he went in and he admitted, he said that his expectations were too high.
Were very high.
But I think that and because this is how he operated Disney too, was where the three of us were kind of walking around and like just sitting in a diner.
Yes.
And experiencing the ambiance. Whereas he was like, I want to go on every single ride.
I mean, I don't even know how many times they went on Tower of Terror, but it was so many.
Yeah, we did most of the rides once.
Yes.
I think the only repeats that we did were Haunted Mansion.
And Guardians.
I think everything else we did once because there were other things that we wanted to experience. Whereas like he was there for the rides.
Yes.
And he said that.
Yes.
And so when he went to Universal, he was there for the rides.
Yes.
And Epic Universe has
only a handful
of rides and an even smaller handful that are for adults. That are coasters. Yes. He did not like Donkey Kong.
No, he did not like. No, he enjoyed Mario Kart.
He liked Mario Kart.
Yeah.
He didn't like Curse of the Werewolf, which you and I didn't actually do.
No.
He didn't think that Ministry was that cool.
No.
I'm trying to think of the other ones.
He didn't think Monsters Unchained was cool.
He thought it was cool.
He did?
He did like that one.
Okay.
But that one was only a 15-minute wait. So,
but he said that because it is a very similar mechanic to the Forbidden Journey.
He said that they weren't using new technology.
And we were like, what are you talking about? Because I wasn't nauseous at all on that ride.
Yeah.
Whereas Forbidden Journey wrecked us.
Yes. I felt like it was very new and cool. And
yeah, and the animatronics were super advanced.
But he also is, what, 24?
Yes.
And so he has not, because I didn't start getting motion sick on really anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like 28 when that actually started being a thing where I was going, what is this sensation? And I'm still relatively okay as far as motion sickness goes. I don't like having my brain rattled. Yeah. Like when we rode Space Mountain and I was going, huh? Because I had just ridden it.
Well, and
5 years ago.
Memories of Space Mountain were from when I was a kid.
Exactly.
And so we rode that thing back to back to back to back. And it was a very different ride as a 30-year-old.
Even a 25-year-old riding it was totally fine.
Yeah.
But as a 30-year-old, I was going,
we were all going, that hurt.
That wasn't, why would I ride this when I can go ride Guardians that was way smoother?
Yeah.
Gage has not hit that point of life yet.
No.
Where he doesn't get motion sick.
No.
And his brain doesn't feel like it's being rattled around. And so to him,
what's the difference?
Yeah. And so, yeah, he was appalled that we didn't ride Velocicoaster and Hulk. But again, I'm sitting there going, why?
I can ride a roller coaster here.
And I've already done them. They are fun coasters.
I'm not saying they're not, but
I would rather do but so he did enjoy Monsters Unchained, but he didn't think that it was overly cool because he thought that it was old technology.
Yes.
And I think
he didn't think it was mind-blowing, whereas we were getting off and going, that was amazing.
That was cool. They did a really good job with that. Like, they used screens and I didn't feel sick.
These are unlike any rides I've ever been on.
Yeah. So I think ultimately what it comes down to is I think most millennials will probably enjoy the park.
Yes.
I think that the generations above and below might not. And I think that if you're going to the park with the expectation of having a bunch of fun rides to do, you're going to be disappointed.
Yes.
Go into it with the expectation of I'm entering pretend lands.
I'm going to Burke.
I'm going to see Toothless.
I'm going to Harry Potter World.
Oh, that was the other thing. He didn't like the shows either.
No, he thought they were lame.
He thought that they were super lame. And I really liked the How to Train Your Dragon show too. And there's that period where Toothless comes out. Hiccup comes out riding Toothless.
And he flies over the audience.
And Gage didn't like that he could see the wires. Whereas I was going, what do you expect? They've got a giant animatronic.
You want him to actually fly indoors?
Yeah, where I was going, this is cute. Toothless is flying above my head right now.
And he's like blinking and roaring and like looking around and his arms are flapping.
Yeah.
And like.
But Gage also has beef with How to Train Your Dragon, which he openly admitted that because the movie is absolutely nothing like the book, apparently. And I just don't care.
No.
Well, and like you said, you're like, the movies don't do Harry Potter any justice either.
But I can still enjoy them.
Yes, exactly. You can still appreciate it for what it is.
Like, if I'm being a purist, which I can be, I have a lot of beef with the movies.
Yes.
Because they leave a lot out and they add in things that didn't happen.
Well, and that was such a funny experience for me because I read the first 3 books and then I stopped reading after that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that I read the first 3 books because I don't remember
hardly anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
But when we did a marathon, we watched all the movies and I was having to explain stuff to you.
Well, and that was part of the reason why I never really got into Harry Potter. It's not that I wasn't into it. I always was like, yeah, okay, like it's cool. But it was the first 3 movies that I enjoyed.
Which those are my favorite too.
Right. And then after that, I kind of felt, it was almost like Lord of the Rings. Because when I watched Lord of the Rings without reading the books, there was a lot of periods where I was going,
what's happening?
Huh? And also I was young too.
Yeah.
So, and that, but then like reading the books, I was like, okay, well now I understand why this is happening. It was the same thing with Harry Potter. Whereas when you were explaining things to me, suddenly I was going, oh, because before I had no idea why this was even included in the movie.
Yeah.
I had no idea why this character was even significant.
When I'm like, why are you adding things that didn't happen in the books when there's so much that you've left out?
Yes.
Like, I understand that trying to adapt it to a movie is difficult and like there's plot devices and things that you need to do, but like the burning of the burrow made 0 sense to me.
Yeah.
So I have beef with the movies.
Sure.
But I can still watch them and enjoy them, and I still enjoyed Harry Potter World.
Yes. Yeah. So I think if you go to Epic with those expectations, you're going
to have a good time.
Yeah. Just pretend like you're actually entering Harry Potter land. And you know what else? I was probably annoyed with this, is that for the entire rest of the evening and actually for the next like 3 days, the inside of my brain, the only thing that it sounded like was wah, 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 wah. Rode the Yoshi line once.
It's an earworm for sure.
Wah, 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 wah. Literally, that's what was going on in my head for the next 3 days. And it would crack me up because like when we were just standing and waiting for something, I would be singing it internally and then I would hear Kellen start singing it and I'd be like, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, dude. Yeah. And poor you having to be surrounded because me and Kellen stim.
I like it.
That's good because we bounce off of each other.
Oh,
and typically when one of us starts stimming something, it gets into the other person's head without them realizing it. And then both of us are just sitting there singing the Yoshi song.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got one of us on either side of you.
I just got background music.
Yeah, you do. Constantly.
I don't mind it at all.
Constantly.
The only stimming I don't like is when Kellen does his beatboxing.
Oh my gosh.
Or like when he just is being loud and obnoxious.
Now, but how did you feel about when it was probably a solid week where the only stim that I was doing was, this Christmas.
I mean, it didn't bother me, but it did put it in my brain.
It bothered me. Because there was no other part of the song. It was just that section.
But that's what my brain does too.
Oh my gosh. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts.
Yeah, and then you got mad because then I stimmed it and it gave it back to you.
Yes, I had finally gotten rid of it and it took once. And then I was doing it for the rest of the day. At that first moment where I had stimmed it again and I just like slow looked at you and I was like, what have you done?
Like, you gave it to me first.
I don't care. Don't give it back. No take backsies. Gosh. Yeah. No, I liked it. It was a good time.
Epic was epic.
I liked it.
I I would go on vacation just to go there.
Just to go there. I don't really feel compelled to go to the other parks. I might.
Yeah.
But like, if I had to do like a quick trip,
yeah,
I would just do.
Because there's so much we still didn't even do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we spent 2 days there.
We did. We had a good time.
We had a really good time.
Yeah. I enjoyed that park. I think that park is very much geared towards millennials.
Especially neurodivergent millennials.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Which I feel so seen.
Yeah. I was like, nah, this is sick. This is good. This is a good park.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like, it feels like it's for like the Ren Fair people.
Yes.
You know? You want the immersive.
You're there for the vibes.
You want the experience.
Yeah. Go there for the vibes. As long as you're going there for the vibes and not for the rides, which again, the rides were good.
I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them a lot.
And we also found out that if you wait until a little bit later,
the lines go way down.
The lines go down.
Yeah.
So, which I was a little pissed about.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you're telling me that I waited in line for Mario Kart for 90 minutes and the wait is 20 minutes right now?
Yeah.
But whatever. You live and you learn.
Well, you live and you learn.
So, yeah. I liked it.
Moral
I loved
of the
the park.
story.
Go to Epic with the right
expectations. And you'll have a blast.
And you'll have a really good time.
We know we did.
And with that, I say, wah, 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 wah. Okay, bye. Every villain is lemons.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember. One butthole.
I'm fucking delicious.